Here we go with chapter 21. We just left off with Abraham and Abimelech, the king that Abraham tricked just like he tricked the Egyptian pharaoh. It was basically a repeat of what we saw earlier in Genesis, and now we're on chapter 21, the birth of Isaac. Now, I don't remember for sure, but I think this is the Isaac who becomes like the deceiver. It's Isaac and Esau. That's the name pair that you always see together. And Esau is like a big, hairy man who hunts, kind of like a little bit like me. I think I'd be an Esau, not an Isaac. And Isaac is like this kind of, I don't know, I think he's like described as like a slimy character, but then it gets redeemed. I won't spoil any more than that. But now that we've gotten away from Abimelech, let's see what happens here with Abraham and Sarah. I didn't realize they had so much story, and I didn't realize Isaac was Abraham. No, wait a second. This might be the guy. Never mind. No spoilers. Let's see what the Bible has to offer us. Genesis chapter 21, verse 1. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah. And as he said, because I think she couldn't have children before. I think she was barren for like a long time, and now, let's see. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, as he had said. And the Lord did, there's so many ways the Bible's worded that causes me to read it incorrectly. I've been doing it for several videos now, but sometimes there's just words added in the last half of the sentence that make your brain think it's going to read a different way. Now, the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, meaning he had said that at some point he would be gracious to her. And the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. So that's what it was. I think before she was like, am I supposed to have kids when I'm an old hag? And Abraham was like, no, I'm old too, but we'll have them. It's way harder for the woman to have the kid, though. I mean, a guy, we already discussed it, but a dude can have kids like his whole life, pretty much, if he's able to get it up. And a woman, on the other hand, is way more likely to suffer complications, which I'm sure they didn't know at this time. I don't know. Never mind. I take that back. It's not that hard to figure out. So I don't know what they were thinking. The writers just thought it was only necessary to point out Abraham's old age. Abraham gave the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him, as God commanded him. Yeah, we already went over circumcision, a tradition that's carried on till today, at least in the U.S. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Nice, Abraham. Sarah said, God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me. That's kind of a strange thing to say. God made me laugh, so everyone else is going to laugh with me too. Sounds like the Joker. She added, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Imagine a 100-year-old nursing her son. Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. We're still talking about Abraham in his old age. How old is Sarah? Oh, that's the end of that section. That's the birth of Isaac. We're in a new section now. We're in a new section. Hagar and Ishmael sent away. Hagar and Ishmael sent away. So I guess maybe we'll get our story continued here. The child grew and was weaned. Okay, it was continued. On the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. So he goes, yes! No more taking food from Sarah's breasts. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking. So Abraham's just impregnating multiple women? Sarah saw, the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking. So Sarah's his wife and his sister, but he's also impregnating other women, if I'm following this correctly so far. And she said to Abraham, get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son, Isaac. So she doesn't like the slave woman's son. That's what we've learned here, based on her words. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. That's right, Abraham. Maybe don't go knocking up everybody. But God said to him, do not be so distressed about that boy. Do not be so distressed about that boy. And your slave woman. God says, do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. God, why is the Bible like this? Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. Morals and ethics don't matter here. Isaac is going to be your offspring, so don't worry about the slave woman and the bastard son that you bore with her. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he is your offspring. Okay, I guess that's why God didn't want him to worry about it. Don't worry. Your sister wife and your slave wife, non-wife, both of their sons will be nations. I got you covered. I'm God. Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and sent her off with the boy. Pop, get out of here with my son, our son. Here's a skin of water. She went on her way and wandered in the desert of... Beersheba. So Abraham just said bye-bye and sent her into the desert with his son, with their son. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went off and sat about Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away. A bow shot. They measured it here. Everyone makes fun of America for measuring in football fields. The Bible is literally measuring based on the shot of a bow. I guess bows were a little more standardized around this time. Who knows how far away that is? I don't think we have enough references to figure that one out. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away. For she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. As she sat there, she began to sob. That's incredibly sad. She goes out into the desert and knows her son is going to die with her alone in the desert because Abraham said, get out of here. You get out of here. God heard the boy crying. And once again, God hears the boy, not the woman. And the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, what's the matter, Hagar? Hagar, what are you upset about? It's just the desert, and you're alone with your son. You have a skin of water. What else did he give her? A skin of water and some food. You have some food and water. Don't be so upset, you whiny. Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Yeah, is it the angel saying that? The angel's going to do it? It's a little misleading the way it's worded. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. Wait, so he didn't make the well of water? He just opened her eyes. Hey, look over there. Clearly, there's water out here in the desert. Go drink from the oasis. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. I guess it was just a matter of perspective. God was with the boy as he grew up. Now, who is this kid? Does he even have a name? Did they name him? Did I miss that? I don't think we know who this kid is. Is he someone important? God was with the boy as he grew up. That's cool. He lived in the desert and became an archer. Nice. Maybe that's why they measured things in bow shots earlier. Also, how is an archer a career? While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt. Again, what a weird detail. That happens a lot in this book. We have a third section now. We have the treaty at Beersheba. Beersheba, I guess, it's a desert they were wandering in. That's not the same as Bathsheba. We're going to come to that character later. That's what I thought it was at first. But Beersheba sounds like the one that I would like. I would like to go to a place called Beersheba. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, it's spelled P-H-I-C-O-L, so I don't think it's pickle. I think that's Phicol. The commander of his forces, Abimelech, the king we saw from the last chapter, and Phicol, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me, swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. He's covering his bases. He goes, swear to me you won't deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Not even any of my descendants. He goes, that'll do it. Show to me in the country where you now reside as a foreigner. Show to me the country where you now reside as a foreigner. The same kindness I have shown to you. Show to me the country where you now reside as a foreigner. The same kindness I have shown to you. Okay, he he was just making sure to define Abraham really precisely. Show to me and the country. Show to me and the country where you now reside as a foreigner, the same kindness that I have shown you. I'm probably not going to put that in the video. Abraham said, I swear it. I swear it. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech, so I guess the servants are just standing around the well. Is that how you seize a well? You just guard it and you don't give the water to anybody? But Abimelech said, I don't know who has done this. He is the king. You did not tell me. I heard about it only today. So he just brushes that one completely to the side. I didn't know the well was seized. So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a treaty. Why would Abraham do that? Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs, E-W-E, ewe lambs. I don't even remember what that word means. Put it in the comments if you know. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock. I think it means young lambs. And Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs you have set apart by themselves? I love when the Bible just says the same thing again. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked, what is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs you have set apart by themselves? He replied, except these 7 ewe lambs. No, he didn't say you. I put you in there. I put you in there on accident this time. He replied, except these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well. I don't follow the logic there, how lambs create a witness. So that place was called Beersheba because the men swore an oath there. Hey, look at this. Maybe I should start looking at the references on the side. Most of them on that big gap I've shown in past, this is all references right here. And then this is the actual words of the Bible. The references are mostly other verses somewhere, but every now and then there's a comment on what it means. So verse 31, it says 21:31. So that place was called Beersheba because the 2 men swore an oath there. I was about to make fun of it. I was about to be like, why would that be the reason it's called Beersheba? I mean, I guess you can gather, or you can presume that it's because it's a foreign word in like maybe Hebrew or whatever language, and Arabic. I think it's Hebrew. Yeah, it's got to be Hebrew. But you can just assume it's like that's what it meant in whatever that language is. But it literally says here, Beersheba can mean well of 7 and well of the oath. So referring to a well of 7, meaning 7 sheep, or well of the oath, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool that is a meaning you can trace back. I assume, if this reference on the side isn't lying. After the treaty had been made at Beersheba, Abimelech and Pickle, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Oh, the Philistines are bad guys later, or at least they're taught that way in the church, or the church that I grew up in, because the Goliath is a part of the Philistines from David and the Goliath. And they're just known as a kind of a nuisance of an army at certain points. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. That's how the chapter ends. Abraham just stayed there for a long time. The end. Just kidding. That's the end of chapter 21. And we'll continue with our next video, chapter 22. Abraham tested. So we'll see how... that might be the spoiler I talked about earlier. Let's see. You'll have to watch the next video.